I'm say greetings, this is Kabanka Pyramid representing the Lion Voice blog. Make sure that them check it out and stay tuned. See? Rastafari blessings every time.
We're gonna also talk about this Valentine Day as well. Where does the Valentine Day come from? We see so much people up and down a run up. If you have a girlfriend in Babylon and your third eye is not open, right now you run up and down. I look flowers and chocolate and them something there. Because you indoctrinated. You have to go all Hallmark, go talk to Mr. Hallmark if you get 2 card. You know? This is the life that we have some of our brethren living. And you cannot tell your girlfriend, and then a side chick in there too, you know, because enough of these men have them side chicks, so side chick have to get a little side call, this, that people are run up and down and a fret, find out say them a side chick and them not get no call on Valentine's.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka RAS Kwasi, aka the Reading RAS, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion's Voice. Welcome once again to the Lion Voice. This is episode 62 and I can't believe how fast the time is moving. Before we get into today's topic, let me just big up the Lion Pride for supporting the channel. If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. What me say? If you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. So big up yourself. Want to big up all of the Patreon Lion Squad. Big up Andre, big up iPoor. We have 2 patrons, one male and one female. So we have the balance, you know, Alpha and Omega side of me on the battlefield. We're going to grow that to thousands and then 10,000. So big up the first 2 patrons to bust a seal. Remember, you can become a patron. Why are we here today? Coming up is going to be Babylonian Valentine Day. That means that this weekend we just passed a whole heap of dating, a whole heap of romantic thing, and the question that you've all come here to answer: can the Rastafari man be romantic? The answer: no. I won't clickbait you. You see how fast me give you the answer? Why? We're gonna get into it because we're gonna go into the definition of romance, where these terms come from. But this is the solution side of the internet. I told you this is the solution side of the internet. So you know, so we can't come here and burn out Valentine, burn out romance, and we don't provide some solution in terms of how to show love to your Black African queen. And if you're from another nation, all of these things apply. I have to talk about my experience. I have to strengthen the root so that the branches can flourish. So we always come at it from a black perspective here on this channel. That being said, let's get into the episode. Can the Rastafari man be romantic? I told the item no, because Rastafari don't have nothing to do with Rome. And I'm gonna just read a little bit of history on this term romantic, because everything we do here, you know, I'm an entertainment attorney and I like definitions. We have to define what we're talking about so we don't get we don't want the reasoning get loosey goosey, because we say Rastafari is lion chad, we're not in the loosey goosey. So we want to make sure what we have the terms well defined. All right, let me read from the Merriam-Webster online dictionary. They have a section called word history. So we're going to look at the history of the word romance. It says that the story of the word romance begins as the 5th century is coming to a close, and the Roman Empire with it. The story's key players are the inhabitants of Gaul, a region comprising modern-day France and parts of Belgium, Western Germany, and northern Italy, a region one British Isle short of the western reaches of the Roman Empire. The Gauls speak a Latin-derived language that we now call Gallo-Romance, but the Gauls themselves refer to as Romanus, from the Latin word meaning Rome or Roman. By the century's close, the Gauls have been overwhelmed by the Franks and other Germanic peoples, and the Roman Empire has fallen to usher in the Middle Ages. The influence of the Latin language, however, remains very much alive. A Latin adverb Romanis, the derivative of Romanus, emerges with the meaning in the vernacular, alluding to the languages that had developed out of Gallo-Romance, namely Old French and Old Occitan. What is spoken Romanis or in the vernacular is decidedly not Latin, which is what was spoken in the church and in most formal writing. In Old French, the Latin Romanis is adapted as Romans or Romans. You hear them sound there, beer Rome, you hear. The new word is a noun, and it refers not only to Old French itself, but also to works composed in it. It's the Middle Ages now, and the Romans or Romans composed are often narratives written in verse and chronicling what else? The affections and adventures of gallant or honorable knights. Romance takes on a meaning referring specifically to treatments of love and times of chivalrous, and the fate of the modern English word romance is sealed. Its close association with tales of love join it forever to love stories, both true and merely dreamt of. Romance, of course, is associated with languages. That use was sealed a bit earlier. Back when the noun referred to Old French, the term Romance language now refers to a number of languages that developed from Latin, including French, Italian, and Spanish. So the whole word romance, romantic, all of these things you see are deriving from Rome. As African people, we predate Rome by hundreds of thousands of years. So our love, which is the love that gave birth to humanity, cannot be boxed into a Roman box. Go anything to deal with Greece and Rome, that is not I tradition, you know. So then you heard them talk about medieval and these terms coming out, and again the root word being Roman, coming from a Western ideology. When the Romans and the Greeks visited Kemet was a whole already. We had our love stories already. So we don't want to define ourselves and put ourselves in a Western box, in this kind of chivalric box, these things. We're going to also talk about this Valentine Day as well. Where does the Valentine Day come from? We see so much people up and down a run up. If you have a girlfriend in Babylon and your third eye is not open, right now you run up and down and look flowers and chocolate and them something there. Because you're indoctrinated. You have to go all Hallmark, go talk to Mr. Hallmark, forget 2 cards, you know. This is the life that we have some of our brethren living, and you cannot tell your girlfriend, and then a side chick in there too, you know, because enough of these men have them side chicks, so side chick have to get a little side call, this, that people are run up and down and afraid find out say them a side chick and them not get no call on Valentine. All these things are happening right now. This is not I tradition, this is not I life. We want to be very clear as Rastafari. Ras mean head, so we don't follow Babylon. We have to lead in Babylon. And Valentine Day comes is the celebration of 2 martyred Roman saints. Again, all of these things leading back to Rome. And these people were made saints by the Vatican. The Vatican, who sits on the throne of Peter, which is also the largest recorded organization of pedophilia that the world has ever known. This is not my sentiment, this is the facts that we're talking about. This is the organization that has ordained these martyrs, and we'll just do a little history to be fair, because it's good to understand where the history is coming from. So we take this straight from Wikipedia. Numerous Christian martyrs were named Valentine. The Valentines honored on February 14th are Valentine of Rome and Valentine of Temi. Both of these places are in Italy. Valentine of Rome was a priest in Rome who was martyred in 269. He was added to the calendar of saints by Pope Gelasius in 496 and buried on the Via Flaminia. And if I butcher any pronunciation, forgive I, drop a comment. Let's talk about it. The relics of Saint Valentine were kept in the church and catacombs of Saint Valentino in Rome, which remained an important pilgrim site through the Middle Ages until the relics of Saint Valentine were transferred. So, you know, you can read more about these 2 saints in the on Wikipedia. We'll drop a link down in the description. But the whole point of that is to show that, you know, these are 2 Italian brethren, and this don't have anything to do with our tradition. So remember that black love is the spark that gave birth to humanity. So when we are expressing this black love, one black love, we cannot be guided by something that is a baby on the historical record. We have to go into our own tradition. I'm gonna just read a little piece of what Haile Selassie said about Empress Menen at her passing, to show even that pinnacle of love that Haile Selassie expressed for Empress Menen. For us as Rastafari, that has to be the example. His Imperial Majesty says, "All of you knew her well, but she was more intimately known to me. She was devoutly religious and did not lose her faith, even in times of hardship. During the memorable days of our companionship, we never had differences that needed intervention of others. As Sarah was to Abraham, so was she obedient to me. Our wishes were mutual until we were separated by the Almighty. Her assistance for the good of the young, the old, and the needy requires no testimony, for they are greater than thoughts and words." So you can see from this short paragraph given at the passing of Empress Menen how Haile Selassie relate and the type of the depth of the love and the heights of the love. This was given February 15, 1962. So this is the example that we can use. But again, I told everyone at the beginning of the episode that we're going to offer some solutions. This is a solution side of the internet. We don't just want to come here, bonfire, complaining. No. We are giving the explanation of what it is. We create the definition, create the parameter, but now we have to build the alternative. This channel is about the building of heaven on earth. And as we said that, again, I just want to big up the Lion Pride. I have to also big up our sponsor, CMAS. Anytime I'm feeling like I need a little energy, CMAS with all of these nutrients makes us smile. My queen is always smiling. Why? Because I drink my CMAS. So make sure you get your CMAS. The link is in the description. There's a discount code that you can get in the description. All of the things that I'm going to tell you about CMAS are going to help you if you are drinking CMAS. So big up our sponsor. Also, we want to just again big up a Patreon Lion Pride because they put their money where their mouth is. We're building a Rastafari owned media platform, and they look at what we're doing, they look through the video and they say, you know what, I'm going to support the Ras and demand them give us strength. So we always have to big up the Lion Patreon squad. But remember, if you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. We're moving this toward monetization. If you were here from 10 subscribers, you were here from 30, you see, say we're gone past 500 now. So we give thanks very much. We thank everyone for the continued support. So that out of the way, housekeeping out of the way, let us get into our 5 things that can be done to show Black love in this time. And one thing I want to emphasize is that this is not about a day, this is about a way of life, this is about a livity. These are things that we're sharing that should be incorporated throughout your trad and your tradition with your queen. The key to long-term relationships is making sure that mutual respect is there. Number 1, and this is not no girlfriend talk we give. Rastafari don't deal with girlfriend, we're royalty. So you never hear about Haile Selassie with no girlfriend, Empress Menen with no boyfriend. So anytime we're dealing with a queen, we're courting for marriage, we're vetting for marriage. And look at my episode on vetting your queen, and you can get some tips on that. These are topics that we're going to talk about because choosing your queen is the most important decision that you will make in building your kingdom. So we want to take it serious. That being said, once you secure the queen, remember, over all things, the greatest thing you can do to show your queen love is to have a purpose and to share your purpose and your vision, where you're going, and be very clear on that for your queen. And remember, me tell you, achievement is an aphrodisiac. What me say? Achievement is an aphrodisiac. When you declare your purpose, when you show your queen your purpose, your vision, and then she sees you achieving it, that is going to be the biggest attraction, the biggest thing that you can do to send those sparks in the relationship overall. But in addition to purpose, achieving your goals, and her seeing you in your manly frame, creating solutions, forging through adversity, becoming great before her eyes. In addition to that, you want to activate the 5 senses. You want to also be aware of the 5 love languages. These are things that, across cultures, it's good to know what the 5 love languages are. And the 5 love languages are: number 1, physical touch; number 2, words of affirmation; 3, acts of service; 4, gifts; 5, quality time. So it's good to have a conversation with your queen and find out which of these things that she really enjoys, or really that she appreciates love, because communication is one of the number 1 things that is important. So let's go through the list quickly and talk about 5 things the Rastafari man can do within the livity to keep that acts, to show the love, to live love. Love is a livity. 1, cook dinner, lunch, bubbling. As Rastafari, I came into the Naya Bingi house. One of the things about a Naya Bingi man, we know how to bubble a pot. We know how to, make food nice and spice it the right way, so that, these are things that the queens them love, because again, you get them through the taste, through, you full their belly. You take off some of the burden, some of the weight from the queen. Also, you can bring in fresh fruits, bring in healthy things for her to consume. Buy her a case of sea moss. I tell you, once you do that, man, your life, nice Anyhow, that's number one. Number two, present a massage, full body massage. You know, you set a tone, create some ambience. You know, this is not something where you have to schedule far out, and you know, this should be a regular part of the levity, ideally, you know, and mutual, full body massage, because we're all stressed, we all sit down, we're on computers, so you know, that physical touch again. And listen, the marriage bed is sacred, so if the ending of the massage is a happy one, nobody now gonna feel bad about that, because guess what, these are two big people. You understand? Understand the language? So you know all that go already. But it's important, you know, to keep that physical touch aspect of the relationship lively. Number three, take a walk in nature. Tell your queen, you know, if you have children, you know, you make arrangements, and I and the queen take some time, go for a walk. You can walk with the family sometime too. That's also very beautiful. Walking and talking. Nature is therapeutic, because when you're around all that greenery, all these plants are giving off that oxygen, fresh air, take it into your lungs. You know, you're out in the elements, enjoying. You know, worse you live in the tropics, worse in Africa, worse you repatriate, and you know, you're gonna feel so nice. And you can see when my queen and I went walking in the mountains of Abri, you can check out that episode. That's part of that levity when you can do it, and we know all of these things. I myself have to even get better. We don't come here to present a perfect picture, but one of the things about this levity is that we're always striving, we're always growing, we're always trying to be better. Consistency beats perfection every time. So that is the mantra that we are moving with right now, and from this time henceforth, even forever. Number four, which could be number one and critical and important, take time to listen with your queen. Listen to your queen, you know. Take mental notes, pay attention when she says she likes things, and these are things that you can get for her, you know, along the journey. You know, the Most High will present you the opportunity to fulfill your queen's needs and goals and aspiration as the king, once you're obedient to the Most High. And this is so important. You know, it may not be tomorrow, it may not be, there are things I tell my queen I have not fulfilled, but I know in time we will live to see them manifest, because there are other things that I told her that were definitely fulfilled. You know, I was able to fly my queen to Africa before we were married, for example, so that, you know, we could spend that time there. And I always joke, if she never liked Africa, that would have been the ending of that story. But of course, she loved Africa, and we're together today. So very important, you know, listening, taking notes, allow the queen to reason, to be heard, to be seen, you know, and maintain the eye contact when possible when she's speaking to the eyes. You know, a lot of us are in our phone. I'm guilty too sometimes, but we have to allow the queens them to be seen and heard. And this list, I went over with my queen, so I get all of the notes them, all of the feed forward them. So this is certified list, okay? Number 5, aroma therapy. Have the house smelling nice, essential oils, you know, get a mister, whatever you want, lavender, different scents. It's good when the queen can come into a space and the space smell nice, you know. Music therapy, we add into that sounds, you know, some lovers rock, some roots music, Naya Bingi, whatever you're, you know, and music that your queen love too. You know, you find out what her songs, you know, who good for that. A Nigerian lady named Sade. You ever just run some Sade in your yard? Good thing, you know. So these are the things that you can do from time to time to just make the journey more highful along the way, and this is nothing to do with Rome. This is part of I and I Liberty from that time until this time. And there's so much more, and I know I miss so much more. So I want all of my Rastafari man them, all of the Lion Pride, drop a comment. What did I miss in terms of things that can be done for the Queen, for the black woman, to show that love, to continue that liberty, so that, again, it becomes not just you're waiting for a day when two Romans did dead, February 14th before you have to show your love. No, we're not into that. Not because we have to be a Roman tick. No, we're not into that. We want to show one black love throughout 365, 13 months of the year. We want to show that black love. So again, drop your comment. Let me know. Let I and I know what I miss, what other things that we can do. Let's build a repository of these things so we can add, because we want to see the Queen them joyful. And if you're a Queen, please, I know there's a low percentage of Queens. We're going to work to get some more Queens subscribing to Lion Pride. We give thanks, we have one in the Patreon, but we're going to get more Queens. So all of the Queens them, please put in the comments things that you would love to see your Kingman do to show that black love throughout the years, throughout the decades, so that we can multiply and amplify black love. This is how we're gonna crumple the beast, because the time has come for us to tell our own story, and this is the Lion Voice.
Lion Voice. Well, this is about more than just having a nice time. Some man only want to make love to you in a night time. Well, I've been wanting to tell you for so long that you're divine. I've just been waiting for the right time. Watch the light shine. This love I'm sending, it's never ending. I love you day and night. Ah, girl. There's no pretending, both our hearts need mending. I pray we make things right. Ah, girl. I know how you feel inside. Visions of yourself as a beautiful bride. And the way you feel you can't hide, don't try. Come off your pumps and pride. I spent some time a womanize, wasting time until I realize that a man could serve the most high with a woman. That's why we have side by side. This love I'm sending is never ending. I love you day and night. Ah, girl. There's no pretending, both our hearts need mending. I pray we'll make things right. Ah, girl. I know about the tears you shed. Heart get hurt by the words he said. Found out that you were misled. Found out him had another girl in bed. That's the way he was born and bred. Old gallus, cock up the gal them legs. Out a road I used the wrong head. Now the baby born and confusion spread. This love I'm sending, it's never ending. I love you day